Yesterday I wanted to do some painting. It required a small roller like this one. And I didn't have any paint rollers, I just had the handle. So I went to the hardware store and I looked at the rollers that looked like this one. And they were $2.49 a piece. That seemed kind of a lot for a very small roller. So I looked at the larger rollers. Rollers like these that fit in a regular paint roller. Now this is a 3-pack and it was $6. Well, I'm thinking the 3-inch rollers that are on here, there's at least 3 of them in each one of those. That gives me 9 rollers if I can cut them the right length. So I came home, took one of these out of the pack, put some cloths, some rags in my vise, and then proceeded to put one of the longer rollers in the vise. And my plan was to just hacksaw it off at 3 inches. So I measured the 3 inches, and I got the hacksaw, and I started sawing. And it started to cut through okay, but it wasn't quite tight enough in the vise, and I didn't want to tighten it anymore for fear that I would break it, so I held it with one hand and finished hacksawing. When I was finished, I realized I should have cleaned the hacksaw blade because the dirt on the blade came off on the roller. That was mistake 1. And also, it's very hard to keep it straight, so I had a little bit of a crooked cut on that. So I needed to come up with a better idea. And I'm thinking, well, you know, if it was metal, I'd put it in the lathe and just cut it off, part it off. But it's kind of big and wouldn't fit very far into my chuck because my spindle bore isn't big enough to accept it. And that would be very wobbly, and if I tighten the chuck, I'm going to break this thing. So I came up with another idea. I was going to make a fixture for this. And I'll go get that so you can see it. So this is what I came up with. This is was a 1 5/8 outside diameter piece of pipe. And what I did is I measured the inside diameter of one of these things, and we got 1.515. So a little tiny bit bigger than ½ inch. If you rotate that and measure it again, it's within a couple of thousandths of that. So it's not perfectly round. But what we needed to do is make this so that that was going to fit on here fairly tight. Now in my case, that measures now, I turned it down to 1.488 inches. And when you slip this on here, it's not really tight, it goes fairly easy. But see if you can see this right at the end here. This is 3 inches from here to the step. And the step is about 1 inch long. But right here at the end of the step, I've left it about 5 or 6 thousandths bigger than what it is here. Just in case this was a tiny bit sloppy, I could push it and get it to fit on that. And that's tight now. So I put this in the lathe, measured my 3 inches, and I used the parting tool. And I'll show you that parting tool. Now I had parting tools that looked like this one. And looking at that, I thought maybe that's going to hang up. Maybe I don't want to use something like this. It's going to catch on the sides and that'll be the end of everything. So I didn't use that. What I did use is this one right here. And there's no clearance at the back here. It's just round at the front here, and it's nice and sharp. And that seemed to do it. So we'll have a look at what happens when you try to cut. So in the chuck on the lathe here, I have a 7/16 piece of drill rod, and that's just so I can slide it in, and when we do get parting happening, that it won't take off on me and fall down in the bottom of the lathe and get all dirty. So what I've done over here is I put my parting tool in. I've measured 3 inches from this far end. So 3 inches over to the parting tool. And we're going to take it very slow and easy at first because we don't want to dig in, and we've got a lot of fluffy stuff to kind of cut through here. Getting close. Moving in. I can hear it rubbing. And what you do have to do is, let me get that out of the chuck here. Just kind of go around, and if there's anything loose on the end like this, take it off of there. You don't want that to get in the paint, but once you've got all of that stuff off there, and it does stop coming off, yeah, just about done now. You can take it out of there. You got a 3-inch roller and 2 more on this piece. So that's about 66 cents a roller instead of $2.49 for a roller. So there's a money saving idea, and it seems to work.